Luke, you're a born and raised longtime Georgia Bulldog fan.
No doubt.
And we just talked about I'll restart. Here we go. 3-2.
Yeah.
Luke, you're born and raised Georgia Bulldog fan. Sometimes these rivalry games will get you right in the gut. So, Florida, Georgia, one of the most iconic, awesome sporting events that goes on anywhere in the United States. Yeah. What was it like growing up when Georgia all of a sudden with Steve Spurrier couldn't win at all?
It was a nightmare. It was a true nightmare because, Georgia came out of the 80s, the early 80s, obviously being a national championship contender for many, throughout the 80s. So, and then as we got into the 90s, man, Steve Spurrier just came in there and he dominated everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he dominated Georgia, and I think, when you look at the stats or when you look at the win-loss, Georgia's historically always had the upper hand on Florida. And even after the Spurrier years, I think we're still 10 games. We've probably 10 games better than them in the history of the series.
Yep.
But man, I mean, Spurrier, it was just a rough. It was no different than what you guys went through with Alabama. I mean,
yep.
And I think, listen, I mean, I want Georgia to win it every year, but when you have, and I want Georgia just to dominate everybody. But man, when it like last weekend in Tennessee, seeing everybody have a chance to win, and that's what's been interesting about Georgia. Georgia really historically in the past 10 years has really historically played Alabama well.
Right.
And sometimes they've beat them and lost the game.
Yep.
So when you beat them on paper and you lose the game, and I kept telling my children this, I said, one day they're just going to beat you.
Yep.
And you're going to get beat and get beat. So for us to beat them last year, and you felt it, but they're still Alabama. They're still amazing. You got to have some luck to beat them too.
We were talking about this. I think we're fortunate, you and I and a lot of people out there watching, get to experience sports. But I think one of the coolest things now, being a dad, is getting to see sports through your kids' eyes.
Right.
And remember what it was like when you were 10, 11, 12 years old, and you can just see it through them. How much fun is sharing sports, whether it's Georgia Bulldogs, Atlanta Braves, whoever it might be, with your kids?
Well, I think anytime you have, like, those topics, I mean, we sit down and chat about hunting, fishing, and the sports and
yep.
Bulldogs. And did you see the new recruit
yep.
that's on the sidelines this week, Dad? They're on their phones, they're checking, they're watching we got a 5-star that we just, so it's such a bonding moment with the boys. The coolest thing, what I love, is when I'm on the road.
Yeah.
And my phone rings, and it's my 14-year-old. Dad, you got the TV on? I'm like, yes, son. And I was like, where are you? He goes, oh, we're ready. They got the popcorn popping. They got the Coca-Colas on ice. About 10 years it'll be beers on ice, but right now it's Coca-Colas. But the fact that you enjoy it with your sons and even girls too, man. Dads with daughters. I mean, it's just a fun camaraderie. It's something for the family.
That thing you mentioned too, when your kids are calling you, is a crazy moment, right? When your phone pops up and
when
it's
they're
like one of your kids.
Yeah, they're calling and they're like negotiating family trips on their phone, and you gotta. Yeah, it's a good time.
By the way, we got Tim Tebow's Heisman behind us
yes.
right here. I think right now we had this in my house for a while. You've had it in your house.
Right.
You're a Georgia guy. How much does it suck that Tebow's such a good dude?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't.
You
gotta
not
love
like the
him.
guy.
Yeah,
right?
you gotta hate him because he just whooped the hell out of all of us when he was at Florida. But he's just such a driven human being, such an inspiring guy, somebody that's really dedicated to his beliefs,
yep.
his passions for stuff. And he's here at the Brett Boyer Foundation. He's been a champion for us. There's so many hidden things that he does in the world when it comes to stuff. Just even he and I have worked with the state of Tennessee on getting girls and women out of really tragic scenarios and getting them in some safe houses. But he's got 100 of those things going on.
He's amazing.
And he's amazing. And what is funny though is we auctioned off the Heisman, and my wife got a little tipsy and bought, and rented Tebow's Heisman. And I was like, baby, I can't have anything Florida in the house, but we had it in the house. And what was really cool about it is, first of all, when your buddies come over and they're like,
is that an actual Heisman trophy? Yeah.
Well, they say, is that the effing Heisman?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, my wife got tipsy and it's Tebow's. But, man, it's a real fun photo op in the house. My son's football teams would come by and get pictures with it. So it's kind of worth it having it for a year. And the fact that Tim, I don't think he's had it in his house for 10 years.
It's amazing.
He just lets you have it, and it's a fun thing to do. So we'll come up with some auction where you can auction for Tim Tebow's Heisman for a year. And, I think at one point I put peanut butter on it, and I had a bulldog eat the peanut butter off the Heisman. You can
come up with little different taunting moves,
even
if you're not a Florida Gator fan.
It's voodoo. Do some voodoo on it.
Tell me about the Brett Boyer Foundation. We're out here today. What are we raising money for, and how much of a difference have you guys made there?
We're raising money for CHD, congenital heart defects, and it's named. Our foundation's named after Brett Boyer, who we lost at 7 months old. She had Down syndrome, and she had a severe amount of heart defects, which essentially doctors tried their best to fix, and it was unable to fix. And a lot of many kids with Down syndrome, you'll know that, I'm not sure of the stats, but a lot of them typically have a hole in their heart, and they have to go get it worked on very early in their life. But CHD affects 1 in 100 people, children. I mean, there's 100 people out here today, and you'll be amazed. I mean, people have heart trouble all the time, but the funding and the research is really not something that's talked about a lot. So we've been doing this event for 4 years. We've had amazing people come out, raised millions of dollars, and we're starting now to see where we have a kid that we've invented a new. I mean, we're actually inventing. We're working with doctors inventing mechanical hearts, how to grow new tissues with valves, and we're starting to physically, like, we got kids out there that we're like, if it weren't for this event, that kid would not be here. So it's something that's been really special to our heart, and thank you guys for coming out and showcasing it. And it's just been this is a fun event. It's called the Redbird Games, and we do people. They purchase tickets to come to our farm, and we shoot guns. We have sporting clays, fishing tournaments. We got like a bull riding deal where you can run. I mean, it's become a riot through the years.
It's a fabulous event that you guys get set up, and you guys are doing tremendous work here. So we're happy to help out.
The thing about it is when you send your money off into the, we obviously we support a lot of other charities, but when you can get donations from people and then look them in the face and show where we're actually making a difference, man, nothing feels better than that. And and we're helping infants, and we're helping even the research that we're doing will help adults too. I mean, there'll be 5 or 6 doctors walking around out here tonight that in the next 10 years they're going to be able to, what they can do with the human heart is they're the best in the world. And it's fun for me. They ask me how to write a song. How do you write a song? And I'm like, how do you make a heart?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's pretty cool talking to those guys, and they're in it for the love of progressing their medical field, and this money goes straight to it. So.
It's tremendous work. Good luck to the Georgia Bulldogs every weekend, except against Tennessee in 2 weeks.
Hey. We're going to see.
There we go. Look, we got a
see.
ball hat right
We're
here.
Gonna see.
I love it. Appreciate y'all.
Chalk coming in. Come on, Chalk.
There you go.
There we go, buddy. Good.
Let's close it out. This is old school, baby.
Oh,
I love that logo.
Chalk.
I love that logo. Go to town on this one.
Hack your leg on that.